For 5 years, they forgot my birthday. No calls, no cake, nothing. This year, I showed up with my own cake. My sister opened the door, looked at me, and said, "Sorry, wrong house," then shut the door. Hours later, my mom texted, "We told her fiancé." So, there I was, standing at my sister's doorstep with this massive cake in my hands. It had chocolate frosting, my name in fancy gold letters, and 32 candles ready to go, even though I really didn't feel like celebrating my birthday this year. I mean, my heart was racing like I'd just run a marathon. Part of me hoped maybe this year would be different. You see, for 5 years, not a single call or text from them. Every December 9th, I'd pick up my phone, making excuses for them. Maybe they're busy. Maybe they forgot again. Maybe next year will be different. But not this year. This time, I decided to show up with the cake. When my sister opened the door, she looked at me like she'd seen a ghost. She glanced at the cake and then just coldly said, "Sorry, you have the wrong house," before shutting the door in my face. I stood there, stunned for a second, then turned back to my car. My phone buzzed just as I hit the street. It was Mom, with a text as cold as the winter air. "We told her fiancé you don't exist. We couldn't let him see you." That was it. No tears, no screaming, no dramatic cake toss. Just a simple "understood" sent back as I pulled over. Then, without hesitating, I logged into the shared wedding account and froze it. Yeah, if they wanted me to be invisible, they wouldn't see this one coming either. I even sent Eva's fiancé a little something in the mail, something they definitely didn't want him to see. So let me back up a bit. I'm Caleb, the weird one in this family, the one they prefer not to talk about at get-togethers. Not because I'm dangerous or did something terrible, but because I didn't play along with their little charades. I was that kid who wouldn't pretend like Dad's outbursts were normal, or laugh at Uncle Rick's crappy jokes about gay people. I turned down a business school scholarship because I refused to join their boring legacy firm. Instead, I did my own thing, became a freelance developer, and built my own 6-figure business. That probably drove them nuts, not because I failed, but because I succeeded all on my own terms. And maybe the nail in the coffin was when I stopped pretending they were great. It all started with birthdays. Year 1, they forgot. "Oh, we thought we texted you." Year 2, "Didn't you say you were doing something already?" Year 3, "Caleb, it's just a day. Stop being dramatic." By year 5, I quit expecting anything. I'd avoid social media on my birthday and just eat cheap sushi, waiting for some kind of guilt trip that never happened. Meanwhile, my sister Eva would get these extravagant celebrations for her half-birthday no less. Catered brunches, custom invites, champagne towers, you name it. And when I'd point out what day it was, Mom would act surprised. "Oh, honey, was that today?" But it's the cold shoulder, the way they'd rally around Eva like she's the golden child. That really stung. They'd crop me out of photos, skip me in family updates, plan vacations without me. "It's just easier that way," Dad once said when I asked why I wasn't invited to a cousin's wedding. Eva got engaged last year to this finance guy, Lucas. Real charmer. Looked like he walked right off a magazine cover. I sent her a nice message when I saw her post about it. "Congrats, happy for you." But she never replied. And still, I helped out quietly in the background, because even when they shut me out, I stayed the responsible one. I was the invisible bank account, the family ghost. They had no clue that a big chunk of their wedding fund came from me. I set it up ages ago when Mom hinted they were short on cash for the venue deposits. I didn't do it for the thank yous. I did it because I knew how they rolled. They wanted that image of a perfect family, and I was willing to bankroll the lie if it meant they'd stop blaming me for being cold and distant. But when that door closed, and I got that text from Mom, something inside snapped. They had erased me to save face. They rewrote our family history to show total strangers. They told me I didn't matter. Well, I decided to remind them I do. I didn't just freeze the wedding funds, I dug into the shared planning account. I had access to everything and started to unravel it all. Emails, transactions, every receipt showing that anonymous family donations were really from me. They wanted me gone? Well, I was gone, but they were about to see the fallout. So there I was, looking through my credit card statements when I noticed a vendor. Even the florist had my initials on their records. Then I stumbled upon another folder filled with screenshots of messages. These were from last summer when Eva sent me a late-night, panic-filled text asking for a $4,000 loan. Apparently, she accidentally opened a credit card in Lucas's name to cover rent. I agreed to cover it, but only if she promised to come clean to him eventually. Spoiler alert, she never did. So I put everything together in a tidy PDF titled, "A Few Things Lucas Might Want to Know Before the Wedding." I threw in a photo from last Thanksgiving, too. Eva and Lucas told me not to come because they were keeping it small this year. But then a friend, who's dating my cousin, sent me a group pic from that night. Everyone was there, having a grand old time. Even Eva was sitting on Lucas's lap. Oh, and there was a printed copy of my old Instagram photo on their fridge with "Do Not Mention" scribbled across it in marker. I decided to mail Lucas the file. Then I just waited. He ended up calling me at 2:13 a.m. My heart raced when I saw the unknown number pop up. I was lying in bed, trying to avoid any more birthday humiliation, but I picked up. "This is Lucas," he said in a voice that sounded a little too calm, like he was standing in the ruins of what used to be beautiful. "Eva's fiancé." I sat up straight, and after a long pause, he told me he got the envelope and just wanted to know if it was all true. I didn't need to answer right away. He already knew. "Every screenshot, every receipt, every silence is yours now," I eventually said. Later that day, we met at a quiet coffee shop. Lucas didn't have on his usual flash, no designer jacket, no fancy watch, just a hoodie, jeans, and the look of someone who'd just walked away from a disaster. He got straight to it, telling me Eva said I was the unstable one, unpredictable and jealous of her life. I've heard worse. She told him reaching out to me would open old wounds. He looked me in the eye and said, "That envelope didn't look like old wounds. It looked like you were clearing the air." I passed him a folder with more hard evidence he hadn't seen yet. Emails of me paying their bills under fake names, a florist note, an invoice from a wedding planner marked "Anonymous Donor," and, of course, the infamous text from Eva asking for $4,000. He read it all silently, his hands shake slightly. She told him I didn't show up to the engagement dinner because I couldn't handle seeing her happy. I chuckled dryly. She sent me the wrong date. I showed up a week early, sat there for 45 minutes, until the hostess told me the reservation was next Friday. Lucas's jaw tightened. "She's gaslit me for years," I added. "It wasn't just carelessness. She was controlling, crafting a reality where I didn't exist." "And you were her newest pawn," I told him. Lucas leaned back and sighed. She'd told him her family was close-knit, that I was the distant one because I was selfish. I tapped the folder and said, "Selfish enough to pay for half her wedding in secret, to clean up her messes silently for years?" That evening, Lucas sent an email to the entire guest list. Over 180 people, even a few big names from his firm. Subject: "Wedding canceled, the truth." He explained briefly but honestly that the wedding was off due to lies on Eva's part, financially and emotionally. He attached my file with all the receipts and screenshots. Within hours, the family chat blew up. Relatives who hadn't spoken to me in years started texting, saying they didn't know and were sorry. Calls from Mom, Eva, my aunt started pouring in, but I wasn't ready to deal with it yet. I ignored most of it. just feeling too exhausted to keep up. Then my phone lit up again. Mom was calling. I let it go to voicemail, but she called again and then texted. Hey, you really didn't have to take things this far. You've wrecked us. Are you happy now? I looked at the screen and typed back, Nope, not happy, just free. She replied almost instantly, saying, We told Eva's fiancé what we needed to. We were trying to protect the family. It was hers. So I shot back, You erased me for the look of things. I showed everyone what was real. And that's when Dad showed up. I saw him pacing outside on my building's security camera, looking really mad and slamming the buzzer. I picked up the intercom. Caleb, let me in, he barked. We need to talk. Nah, I said calmly. Your mom's in tears. Eva's not eating. She's embarrassed. I didn't humiliate her. She did it to herself. You just helped her keep her secret. You've always been so vindictive. No, I cut him off. I've always been quiet. You just didn't expect me to stop being silent. He slammed his hand against the glass. You're not part of this family anymore. And I grinned, even though he couldn't see it. Finally, I whispered some truth and he left. For the first time in a long time, I slept through the night. They acted like nothing happened, but I wasn't finished. After Lucas sent that email, their world didn't just crack, it fell apart. The wedding got canceled with no refunds on the venue. The florist put them on blast on Instagram for bounced checks. The caterer threatened to take them to small claims court. Eva's bridesmaids ghosted her so fast that it left broken group chats all over the place. But that was just the start, because Lucas didn't just walk away. He blew the whole thing up. Turns out, he wasn't just some finance guy with a good jawline. His family owned a mid-sized investment firm that had connections with half the wedding vendors. When he pulled out, others followed suit. Within 72 hours, Eva became persona non grata in the wedding industry, and the calls started. Mom, we need to talk. I didn't respond. Dad, you've made your point. Come fix this. Fix what? Their fake perfect world? No thanks. They tried to tell relatives it was all a misunderstanding, that Lucas overreacted, or I twisted things. But it was too late. The paper trail was louder than their lies. Then came the real fallout. Remember that family account for wedding funds? Yeah, I wasn't just some random donor. I was the admin. I froze it right when Mom texted, You don't exist. But now I emptied it legally. Every dollar I contributed, I took back. Everything else was locked under financial dispute. Eva tried to claim theft, but the bank had the receipts. Her name wasn't even on the primary account. The meltdown was epic. They lost over $18,000, couldn't pay the decorator, had to refund guests who prepaid for destination plans, and still they blamed me. Mom texted, You're being cruel. Eva is heartbroken. I replied, Heartbroken people apologize. She sent a cease and desist letter. Yep, Eva tried to sue me for defamation. Her fiancé left her, vendors blacklisted her, but apparently I was the bad guy for telling the truth. The letter was laughable. My lawyer, a friend from college who owed me a favor, read it and laughed. We sent a straightforward response. Bring it, we're ready. She didn't, but you know who did contact me? Lucas's mom. She sent a handwritten letter on real stationery thanking me. She said she always suspected something was off, but didn't know how deep the lies went until she saw my file. She said I saved their family from years of disaster. She also sent me a check, not just a little gesture, an actual check for $10,000 as a sign of respect. Not pity, not charity, just acknowledgement. I didn't cash it, but framed it. As for my family, things fell apart quickly. Dad lost a contract with one of Lucas's associates. Bad PR isn't good for business. His circle of friends started avoiding him. Mom tried fixing her community image, but it's tough when half your bridge group saw you lying to your son for years. And Eva? She fell apart. She posted a breakup announcement online with all the usual fluff. Sometimes people grow apart. It just wasn't the right time. Sending love to everyone. The comments were brutal. People said things like, "Sis, he left because your family lied about having a brother," and "Where's the cake, though?" And then there was a Reddit thread. Yep, someone shared the story on a relationship subreddit, and it blew up with over 20,000 upvotes. People called it the ultimate sibling revenge. Someone wrote, "This is what happens when the family scapegoat stops playing nice." But the best part, about a month after the whole thing blew up, I got a knock on my door. It was Eva, no makeup, eyes puffy, shoulders hunched, holding a Tupperware container. "Mom made cake," she said. I raised an eyebrow and she added, "We owe you one. Thought maybe we could talk." I didn't say anything. She added, "I messed up. I believed them about you, about everything. I thought you were just angry for no reason." Her eyes filled with tears, and I let them. So there I was, looking at this carrot cake in its container, my least favorite kind. "I don't want the cake," I said. "I want an apology, and I want you to mean it." She nodded, all shaky-like, and said, "I'm sorry." I believed her, but I didn't let her back in. I told her to come back when she figured out how to have a real relationship with me, one where she didn't try to hide me. Then I gently closed the door, not slamming it like she did to me. That night, I tossed the cake and poured myself a drink. It wasn't to celebrate, just to breathe, because for the first time in years, I wasn't angry, hurt, or the invisible one in family photos. I was finally free. It's been 7 months now. 7 months since I showed up at Eva's with a birthday cake I made myself, and she told me I had the wrong house. 7 months since my mom texted to say I basically didn't exist. 7 months since I ditched my guilt, just like they tried to ditch me. People say revenge is bittersweet. Nope, it was like cleaning a wound. You don't cry over the pain, you're just glad the poison is gone. My family? They don't even mention me anymore. Not publicly, at least. A college friend told me they saw Dad at some fundraiser, and when someone asked about his kids, he only mentioned Eva, as usual. But whatever, I don't need their lies to justify my truth now. I moved to a new city, bought a small house in the mountains. It's remote, quiet, peaceful. No drama, no fake get-togethers, no whispering behind my back. Just me, my work, my dog Java, and the silence I chose. And in that silence, I found clarity. I don't regret anything. Not the files I leaked, not the money I froze, not the secrets I exposed. If I regret anything, it's that I waited so long. I wasted years trying to earn what should have been given freely. Love, respect, acknowledgement. I kept showing up, hoping they'd remember I was part of the family. But I was just a convenience, a bank account, a scapegoat. When I stopped playing that role, their world crumbled. Not because I wrecked it, but because I stopped holding it up. Last month, I got this mysterious envelope in the mail with a photo of me as a kid blowing out birthday candles. Eva was next to me. Mom was behind the cake. Dad was filming. Everyone was smiling. On the back, someone had written, "We lost something that day. Maybe it was you. Maybe it was us. I'm sorry." No signature, but I didn't need one. I burned it, not out of anger, but because that little boy who wanted crumbs from their table doesn't exist anymore. I've built my own table now with real people around it. Friends who don't cringe at my past. Colleagues who respect my work without questioning my pedigree. And a partner who knows the whole story and never said, "Maybe it wasn't that bad," because it was. And I'm done downplaying it. A few weeks ago, Eva emailed me. Subject line, "Do you hate me?" I didn't reply. Not because I hate her, but because hate takes energy. And I'm not wasting it on ghosts. I've forgiven them, not for them, but for me. Anja, her's too heavy, and I'm building something beautiful. Last week, I celebrated my birthday for the first time in years, surrounded by friends. I made my own cake, vanilla bourbon buttercream, and there were candles and laughter. No one asked about my family because they knew. They're the family I chose, the one I created. When I blew out those candles, I didn't wish for their love or forgiveness. I just wished for more days like this, where I exist fully, loudly, and unapologetically. I was never the problem. I was just the mirror they couldn't stand, so they tried to break it. But I didn't shatter. I sharpened. And now I refuse to disappear. I've reclaimed myself completely. If you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more crazy real-life stories happening around